Hi, this is Jessica with Jacob's Tutoring, and we're going through the Algebra 1 2009 SOL test for Virginia. This is video 4, and we're going to go through questions 16 through 20. All right, here we are with question number 16. So number 16. The graph of y is equal to negative x squared minus 2x plus 8 is shown. Okay. On the grid, identify each of the solutions. So here with this one, this would be an interactive question where you're not choosing, A, B, C, D, or whatever. You're actually going to select it on the screen. And remember, solutions. These are going to be this is where y is equal to 0. So we're looking for y to equal 0 here. Now, remember, this is your x coordinate and your y coordinate. So anywhere we're looking for y to equal 0, right? So anywhere you cross the x-axis at 0 is a solution. So here's a solution, and here's a solution. So negative 4, 0, and then 2, 0. These are going to be the solutions for this problem. So anywhere y is equal to 0. All right, that's number 16. Before I go to the next one, solutions, you may also hear these called zeros. And the reason it's called zeros, again, because y is going to equal 0. All right, number 17. What value of x makes the equation true? All right. So we've got what we're going to do here is try to get all of our x variables onto the same side. All right, so I'm going to leave this one alone, and I'm going to move the 3x. If I move the 2 over here, that sets everything equal to 0, and then you're going to have to move the 20 over. So honestly, it really doesn't matter what you move first. The reason I'm choosing to move the 3 first is because it's one less step. So you can move the 2, it's just you're going to have a second step afterwards. So it's the faster method. One thing I want to make sure I make clear with math, as long as you're getting to the correct answer, there's no wrong way to do it. There's a best way, and then there's other ways. You got to go with what you think first. So you got to use your best, what you would think the next step should be, or what you think is the right method. So for me, I'm going to do this. That cancels out. 20. You're going to add these two together. So that gives you a negative 5x. Divide by a negative 5. Divide by a negative 5. X is equal to 4. What I was saying here, so this is your answer C here. What I was saying earlier, just to kind of give you another perspective, if you were like, well, why not just move the 2? You can do that. All right, and I'm going to show you why you could do that. And that's 5x minus 20 is equal to 0. All right, you see how over here we were done right away. Okay, we just divided and we were done. Here, this problem is equal to 0, so we need to get x by itself. We don't want it over here with an integer, or with a number with it, okay? So we're going to plus 20, plus 20. 5x is equal to 20. 5 x is equal to 4. See, you're getting to the same, it's one extra step, okay? So at the end of the day, it's not wrong if you decided to move the 2. It's really up to how you see the problem. Math is, it's a game of, figuring out what you're going to do. You have to think out your process. So either process is fine. So answer C there. 18. Which equation best represents line M? All right, so we're looking here at M. All right, so let's identify what this is asking. Y is equal to mx plus b, right? Where b is your y intercept, right? And m is slope. The easiest thing to identify right away, and they've kind of tagged that for you as well, is the y-intercept here is -4. So we know b is equal to -4. All right. What else can we figure out? Is our slope negative or positive? That's another thing. So our slope is going up, so we know slope is positive. So we could eliminate answer choices A and B, right? So here's another thing. You've probably been told, so slope is rise over run. Remember, you're going to rise and then run. So it's your y coordinates over your x coordinates. There is the method of going so you could use the whole, I'm going up 1, 2, 3, I'm going to rise 3. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. There's a couple of methods I'm going to show you to get your M here. You have the, I'm going to rise, and it's 1, 1, 2, and then you're going to go rise 2 and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 over 6, right? You rose 2 and you went over 6. 2 will go into 2 one time, 2 will go into 6 3 times. There's our slope. Now, here's the other way you could have done this. Remember this equation? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, right? You could have chosen 2 points, and let's find a point. Here's a point here, right? Let's look at -3, -5, and another point clear is 3, -3. All right, so remember, see, x1, y1, x2, y2. So some of these you guys have already seen. We've used this equation already in this test. So we're going to do y2, which is -3, minus a -5, and then 3 minus a -3. So those add, right? That's 2, 6, which again rounds to 1/3. Or not rounds, I'm sorry, reduces to 1/3. So there's our answer. Again, there's our slope. So 2 different ways to get slope. Obviously, this one was the faster way. It's important that you know this equation. Just doing this one test, we've already seen this equation twice. So I would definitely say you need to know this equation and definitely know this equation. We've already seen it twice on this one test. All right, let's look at 19. Here's another one of those interactive questions where you're going to have to pull the answer over. All right, Christopher incorrectly solves an inequality as shown. Let's see, with problems like this, sometimes I think it's best to go through and possibly do the problem if we're having trouble identifying where he's gone wrong. So Christopher's doing this problem. Let's see if we're looking here. So remember, the first thing he needs to do is send this forth. I would, like he did, subtract the 1 out. So let's just go through real quick, and it just takes a second. Plus 1 is greater than or equal to -3. He's moving this, right? So x minus 7. We're going to move this 1 first, and that gives us a -4. So everything checks out. So this step is correct. Next, it looks like he's sending that 4 through. So negative 4x plus 28. And that, let's see, negative 4x plus, yep, that looks good, right? Now, what are we doing next? We're going to minus 28, right? Minus 28. And then minus 4x. And then 32. All right, so everything looks good so far. We're check, check, check. So divide through by negative 4, divide through by negative 4, x. Now, remember that rule. We divided through by negative, we flip the sign. And your answer should be 8. So where did he go wrong? He went wrong here, between steps 4 and 5. All right, he forgot that rule. When you divide by a negative, you have to flip the sign. Number 20. Solve for n. All right, there's a ton of different ways to solve this one. These are set to equal each other, so I would cross multiply. All right, so we're gonna do this right here. This is not an addition or subtraction. Okay, this is an equal situation. So if this was addition or subtraction, you would need, you know, have the like denominators and all this other stuff. But this is a simple equals, this fraction is equal to this one, so we can cross multiply. So 3n minus 7, and we're going to multiply that times 3. And then 6 times 2n plus 5. All right, there's our situations. So send this through, right? 9n minus 21. And then 6 is going to go through as well. 12n plus 30. And now it's a matter of getting all the n's on one side and all the constants on one side. Let's see, again, kind of going back to what we talked about earlier, it doesn't matter what step you do next. Whatever you see fit, if you want to move the 9 to one side or the 12, it doesn't matter. As long as you get the n's on one side and the constants on one side. All right, let's see. What do I want to move? Let's go with 9. So 21, that cancels out, right? 9, and that's going to be 3n plus 30. Now we got to move the 30. That's going to cancel, right? And that is a negative 51 and 3n. Let's just go back through. I always question when I get a weird fraction. Did I do that right? All right, so far everything, let's see, 9, 7, 21. All right, so we're going to divide by 3. N is equal to a negative 51 over 3. I don't know that that reduces out. Maybe it does. Let's put it in the calculator just to be safe. It does. Look at there. I'm glad I put it in. Negative 17. So n is equal to a negative 17. If you wanted to, and you should check it. 3 negative 17 minus 7 over 6. 2 negative 17 plus 5 over 3. Okay. So I'm just going to put this in the calculator really quick. 3 negative 17 minus 7 divided by 6. This is some weird math. Let's put it in fraction form. Fraction. Negative 29 over 3. 2 negative 17 plus 5 divided by 3. Math, fraction, and again, negative 29 over 3. They're the same. Okay, so that checks. Negative 17 is our answer. All right, that's the end of this video series. Hope you found this helpful. If you have questions, ask them in the comments. I'll be happy to respond back. If your question needs another video, then I'll post it. Yeah, thanks for watching. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.